This week on James Weekly, I am going to discuss some popular lies that parents tell their children. And if you have children, then these are lies that you will eventually tell your children. Don't say you won't, because you know you will. Now, if you're a child and you've ever misbehaved, your parents have probably pulled this one on you. Santa's watching. Bull. Santa's not watching me because he's not. I mean, I guess that one is pretty effective. I mean, it worked on me. This is one that I got all the time. You are what you eat. I thought for the longest time that I was gonna be a McNugget with a side of fries. Kind of ridiculous. Another one that I got frequently, mostly from my father, is every time I wanted to play a game with him, he would lay on the couch and close his eyes. And then I'd be like, Dad, play with me, and he would be like, I'm just resting my eyes. At first I fought it, because I was like, no, you're gonna fall asleep. And then I played all by my lonesome on the floor with the carpet. I also still get this one frequently. Oh, we'll leave in a little bit. That is bull, because my mother is never just a little bit away from leaving. It's at least 10 minutes, and then 15 more. We are almost there. That's never true. My stepmom actually did this thing where I'd be like, hey, are we there yet? And she'd be like, give me like 2 more cartoons, which is actually like an hour. Well, you know, that's not very long. I watch cartoons like that, and then all I would be able to do would sit and stare out the window. But kids today have all kinds of stuff to do in the car. iPods, TVs, play DVDs, they have computers and cell phones. My cousins got cell phones when they were like 8. I didn't get one till like 14, and only because I was leaving the house to go hang out with friends. My mom kept it outside of that. I'll come check on you in a little bit. I got this all the time as a kid, and I don't think once, not ever once, did they actually come back to check on me. There were certain nights at my father's house that I would sit up and wait for him to come back, and he never would, ever. Except one night, he decided to check on my stepmom. This one I got from like every single person that I knew. If you don't eat your crust, you won't grow chest hair. And you know what? I didn't eat my crust, and I didn't grow chest hair. I don't even have that one that like the 8th grader gets, and it's like, oh yay, chest hair. Maybe I should have eaten my crust. This one was the hardest one to hear, and I didn't believe it for way longer than I care to admit. But I was told that imaginary friends aren't real. Fred and I still don't believe that one. Right, Fred? He's quiet today. This one is a big fallacy. If you sneeze with your eyes open, they're gonna pop out. Not only does it scare the crap out of a child, but it's physically impossible to keep your eyes open while you're sneezing, and I try every time. Like sometimes I even like go like this, so it's like if you make a funny face too much, it's gonna stay that way. I used to get that all the time because I would always make faces at my siblings. Or like when I had to eat broccoli, no kid likes broccoli, so I'd always be like, and then my mom would be like, you know, if you keep making that face, it's gonna stay that way. My mom's not Southern. I still have my face. This one I actually found online. It's kind of hilarious. When the ice cream truck is playing music, it means that they're out of ice cream. You are a horrible parent who doesn't love your child, unless your child's morbidly obese. Good for you. Swallowing gum. I was always led to believe that it would like tie your intestines together and then end really bad. But I did read that if you swallow a large amount of gum in a close time period, it will start to build up and block your intestines by sticking together. If you're swallowing that much gum in one day, you might have a problem. This is an awful one that I used to get a lot. If you peed in the shower, it would come back through the nozzle. I already believed that the water just kept recycling to begin with, so I never peed in the shower. Yeah, right. If you ask your parents something, like to do something, or to get you something, or to go somewhere, and they say maybe tomorrow, that's a no. On the other hand, if you get a maybe, that's pretty much the equivalent of a yes, if you play your cards right. So learn, children, learn how to work your parents. I think this is probably one of the most common stereotypical things that parents tell their children. Your pet ran away. That, children, means your parents got lazy and didn't take care of your pet, and now they're dead. I had a similar story, except mine went a little more like this. I've always wanted a pet at my dad's house. My mom always had dogs, and that was great because I love dogs. But I always wanted one at my dad's, so he finally bought me a fish, and it lived for like over a year. Like, this fish was not going to die. Its roommates kept dying, so we had to keep replacing a roommate. But this one fish just never died, and we named the fish Michelle. My dad was like, hey, we're going to move. I said, are we going to take Michelle? And he was like, no, we're going to put her in the lake. And then he flushed her down the toilet in front of my eyes. And I was like, Dad! And he was like, oh, don't worry, son. The drains go out to Lake Winnebago, which is a big lake by my house, which, by the way, is probably no better than the sewage to begin with. And then I went home and told my mom what happened, and she's like, honey, your dad lied to you. Your fish is now in the sewer and probably dead. When you're at the store with your parents and you really, really want something, and you're like, well, maybe we'll buy you something next time, you're never getting that toy. In conclusion, our parents lied to us a lot, and we're stupid enough to believe them. I have a very exciting surprise for you next week if everything goes according to plan. If you liked my video, please subscribe. If you didn't like it, tell me why, and then subscribe. If you have any lies that your parents told you, let me know, and maybe I'll make a part 2 sometime. Maybe. I'm James Weekly, and I'll see you next Friday.